Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to my very first vlog. And as the title says, I went to Istanbul and got a hair transplant. I did indeed. We are 3 days post surgery, so this is what it looks like. I'm already scabbing, which is a good thing. So this is what it looks like. This area. So this was the donor area, my sides and the back, and this was the transplant area up here. And we'll talk about it. So I was actually going to keep this kind of low key and a secret, and only a handful of my very close friends knew what I was doing. But then I decided that I wanted to share this experience with people who may be interested in going to Turkey and getting a hair transplant and just needed a real honest opinion on what the process was like. So, me personally, I had been thinking about getting a hair transplant for a couple of months now, just simply because my hair was starting to thin, and doing the regular things at the barbershop, like getting the fiber and everything else, was great that day. But a day or two later, it just wasn't lasting. So I wanted something that was going to be lasting. And in February of this year, my homeboy Lamar, he posted on his Instagram page, uh him right after he did his hair transplant. And I hit him up. I said, I didn't know you were doing that. He said, yeah. And I asked him, what clinic were you going to? And he said the HEVA Clinic, which was in Istanbul, Turkey. And that's the one that I was looking at. And he just had nothing but great things to say about them. So the next day I sent them a message. This was in early March. um I sent them a message. They sent me a message back. They told me to take pictures of my hair. I sent them pictures of my hair. They told me where I was on the I think it's called the Norwood scale, of of the level of thinning that you're at, and then gave me an estimate of how many grafts that they would need to take. And I think in my case it was 3,800 grafts. Um, and so they sent me the packages, and I chose the very first package, which is like $2,800. And then I did a $300 deposit, so that took it down to 2,500. And they want that in cash. So we'll talk about the cash in a second. So they wanted that in cash, and then they wanted me to find a flight, and then whatever flight I found, to give them the dates of the flight before I booked it. And so what I did was I was looking, and I chose my dates. I knew what my dates were going to be, and I spoke to the clinic and said, I want to come through this time period, which was April the 27th through April the 30th. And it just so happened that they were booked on the 28th. So the earliest I can get in was the 29th. And then leave on the 30th. So I basically started looking for flights for those dates. So I usually fly through Priceline, and so I was looking at flights through Priceline, and they were incredibly expensive. And a friend said, actually call Priceline and speak to an agent one on one. You might get a better result. Listen, I did that. I called Priceline, spoke to an agent one on one. The prices that I was looking at online was like $1,400 total. What I got from the agent was a total of $1,100 round trip, direct flight from Dulles to Istanbul, Istanbul to Dulles. That was included me picking my seat. So each seat was like $35. So it was like an additional $70 for the departing and the return flight. Okay, so that was like $1,100. So we locked in the dates. So uh, so the only problem was I skipped a step. So uh, on the last day that you're there, which they give you a shampoo, that's the day that you're technically supposed to leave, but they don't want you to schedule a flight until after 2 o'clock, because they usually pull you in that last day around 1. And so they don't want you to choose a flight so close to 2, just because you might not be done. And there's traffic in Istanbul. We'll talk about it. Um, and so I couldn't get a flight out on the 30th. So the earliest I can get out was the 1st. And so they said, hey, that's no problem. You'll fly out on the 1st. Okay. So we fly in. So I fly into Istanbul. I get picked up I get picked up from the airport, get taken to the hotel, check in. Everything was seamless. So here's what I did, me personally. So my procedure was going to be $2,500. So I had $2,500 in cash. I took an additional $2,500 in cash, just in case of emergency that I had on me. And it was crazy. So that was like $5,000 in cash that I had rolled. I wish I took a picture of it. That I had rolled up in a bundle and I had tied up with kitchen twine. And it was in a sandwich bag in my carry-on bag. So, so I had that. So that was 5,000 in cash, and then I had an additional $2,500 that I had transferred from my bank to my Cash App card because I didn't have a chance to tell my bank I was leaving, and so my card wasn't going to work in Turkey. So if I wanted to go shopping, which I did, it wasn't going to work, and so I just decided that I was going to transfer $2,500 in cash. So basically, I left out with like $7,500 total to take to Turkey. 5,000 in cash, and then $2,500 on the Cash App card. Okay, so get there, get to the hotel. The HEVA Clinic is spot on with their communication. That's one thing that you need to know. They are spot on with their communication. They even from the moment that you make your appointment, they set you up with an app that you log on to. You put all of your information into. They are very diligent on questions, so you're going to get the same questions like multiple times. And we'll talk about that in a second. There's particular questions that you're asked multiple times for a reason. We'll get to that. Okay. So basically they send you messages saying this is what time your driver is going to come and pick you up from the hotel. It was 7 a.m. So you have the option of choosing a package so you have the option of having anesthesia or not having anesthesia. I chose not having anesthesia. Mistake. We'll get to that. So driver shows up 7 o'clock on the dot. I get into the Sprinter. There's 3 other guys that were at my hotel that got into the Sprinter with me, and then there was a young woman that got into the Sprinter as well. So we head off to the HEVA Clinic, which is funny because it wasn't that far from the hotel. I literally could have walked from the hotel to the clinic. I mean, it was that close. It was maybe like 6 blocks away. So we get there. The clinic is beautiful. There's marble everywhere. They meet you at the door. They're very hospitable. They are greeting you by name. You sit there. They take you downstairs to like a little lobby area. They give you paperwork. Now, this is where we get into the paperwork. So prior to you even going to Turkey, they repeatedly send you information to fill out. It's kind of redundant, but I guess they want to dot their I's and cross their T's, right? So it's basically a questionnaire about you. Like, what type of medications are you on? Do you have any type of allergies to anything? What type of food? Vegan, vegetarian, all that other type of stuff. And do you have hepatitis? Do you have HIV? Do you have diabetes? Do you have any of those things? And they ask you this several times over the course of from the time you make your appointment to the time that you actually go. So when you get there, you have to fill out a questionnaire in person. Those same questions are on that questionnaire. Basically asking, hey, we talked about this before, but again, we need actual verification from you. Are any of these issues, right? And so you answer that, and then they basically take you up and they collect your money. So then they sit down, they go over your package. They ask you if you don't have the anesthesia, if you want it. So they ask you again because it's an additional charge. And so I was just like, no, I have a pretty high pain tolerance. I can do it. I can deal with it. Uh, And so basically, I just gave them the $2,500 cash. They looked at me like I was crazy when I took it out of my bag and had it with kitchen twine and like counted it out and gave it to them. They have a little machine there that counted it out. And so after that, I was number one. I was the first one. So they took me upstairs for the consultation with the doctor. So basically, they look at your hair. They judge it to see, number one, if this is possible, if this is going to be a good result for you, because they don't want to over harvest and they don't want to underperform. And so they give you very realistic expectations. And my expectations were, the top of mine was where the thinning is. And so basically we wanted to make sure that that filled out and was dense. And so that's what we did. And so we did that, and then they drew a line on of where everything was going to go, and then they took you to get shaved. So they took you to get shaved. The woman is not a barber. She's not a barber. So I mean, she just shaved me like a damn sheep. She's, I mean, she just shaved it all off. Then they take you to your procedure room, and this is where being honest is very important, right? So they take you into your procedure room and they have you take off your shirt. So they want you to wear something like this, which is a button up or something that zips up, because they don't want you to be taking anything over your head. So you can't wear anything that goes over your head for the next like 13, 14 days. Okay, so you get to the procedure room. They start doing your vitals. They check your blood. They check your blood pressure, your oxygenation. They put the little strobes on your like chest and stuff like that to monitor your heart rate and all that other type of stuff. Uh, and then they give you an IV of some calming kind of, it's not sedation, but it's something else. It's supposed to help you calm down. But before they do that, this is why, again, so you can see all these clips online of people talking about their experience with the hair transplant. I've not seen one mention this. They actually take your blood. They actually take your blood work. I mean, they're serious about these questions. They actually take your blood work. And I think it's great because sometimes people aren't honest. So they actually take your blood work and they let you know, yeah, so we're taking your blood work because we're going to run it in the lab, and they're doing the red blood count, white blood count. They're checking for diabetes, because if you're diabetic, sometimes the healing process is not gonna, it's slow. So, and that's major with this type of situation, because you have to heal properly. And so they want to know if you're diabetic, because if you are, they want to gauge how much of a diabetic you are, because you might not be able to have the procedure done. And then they let you know, yeah, so we're also going to run this for hepatitis, and we're going to run this for HIV. And if anything comes back, we'll come in and let you know. So they take that, and when I tell you, they will not start working. They will not start working until they get the all clear from the lab. They will not start working until they get the all clear from the lab. Now, from what I understand, that if something popped up for like HIV, you can still get your hair transplant, but I think they have to do like different protocols for safety. I think it's a whole nother thing, and then it costs. I think there's a cost associated with it, because I think they need some specialized equipment and all that other type of stuff. It's in the paperwork. So like if you read the paperwork, it's in the paperwork. So like you're sitting there waiting uh for to get the all clear, basically. And so we so in the process of getting the all clear, I did something that you should never do. I did something that you should never do. So I'm laying like this. I'm laying like this on the table, and the operating table is sitting up. So I'm sitting up like this. I'm seated up like this. And so on this side is a blood pressure machine that my arm is strapped to. And then on this side is I guess the tray. I don't know what the formal name of it is, but it's the tray that has all of the that has all of the like equipment and all of that stuff on it, right? Um, I looked now. I don't like needles, so I don't like needles. So as we're waiting for the blood work to come back, I kind of looked over and looked on the tray and saw nothing but a damn row of all these syringes, and I immediately started to panic. And that damn blood pressure, the blood pressure machine was like going up, and they all turned around and looked. It was like, calm down, calm down. I was like, I didn't know it was that many needles. And so she's like, yeah, it's a lot of needles. So I started getting worked up. And the more I got worked up, the more my damn blood pressure was going up. So so the girl comes in from the lab and she's like, all clear. And so they're like, well, no, we have a issue now because this blood pressure is starting to spike. And so they're like, what? Why is his blood pressure spiking? Because it was just fine a few seconds ago. What's going on? And they were like, Anthony, calm down, calm down, calm down. Everything is like calm down. I was like, I don't like looking at the needles. This went on for like 8 minutes of them trying to keep taking the blood pressure, trying to get the blood pressure down. And so they finally, so it's a really tall guy, tall black guy with cornrows, and they brought him in because he speaks really good English. And he was like, uh, brother, it's okay. Like, I know that you're nervous, but you got to calm down because it can't start unless your blood pressure is like in the normal range. And I was like, okay. So we tried. So I mean, I could not get. I mean, I could not be worked up. So I was worked up. And so I guess they finally got tired of me and said, yeah, like this ain't going on any further. So they went and got me a Xanax. So they brought me a Xanax in and they put some type of tablet under my tongue and told me to let it dissolve. And I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, about 10 minutes later, they took their blood pressure again and the blood pressure was back to normal. And they said, let's go. So let's get into the nitty gritty of why I made the biggest mistake of not getting the anesthesia. Okay. If you look online and people are talking about the shots, they're talking about the shots and how bad the shots are, how painful the shots are. It's no exaggeration. It's no exaggeration. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst pain I felt, those shots were at least a 35. Like, I'm not even joking. And I know somebody might watch this and be like, you're a wimp. Like it couldn't have hurt that bad. Yeah, it does. And the crazy thing is, it's not even the needle. So it's not the needle that's going into your scalp. It's not the needle. It's the solution in the syringe that causes the pain. I mean, and when I say they are very upfront with you and they and before they start, so when we get started, I'm then turned and laying on my stomach and my head is down. So my head is down and they let you know this is going to hurt. That was an understatement because when she put the first needle in, I thought, oh, that's not that bad. It's just a little prick. She started putting that solution under my skin. When I tell you, she said it was going to burn. What she didn't say is that it was going to set you on fire. I mean, it felt like someone had a flamethrower under my damn skin. And I mean, and when I tell you, I can't even count how many needles it was. So the worst areas were here, 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 and here. And of course, up top, like when they did up top, but they have to go around the whole head, right? So I think I had at least 30 shots. And that was just for the donor area. Because they still had to get up here. So when I tell you it was so painful that they had to ask, do you want to take a break? And I was like, hell no, I don't want to take a break. Like, is it going to change the pain tolerance? Like, nah, like, let's go. And so I'll tell you what, if you go to HEVA Clinic and you lay in one of those, and you lay on one of those tables and you see a deeply embedded handprint in that leather, that's mine. I'm telling you now, that's my handprint. Because I was gripping the hell out of that table. Like, it was, I mean, it was unbearable. It was unbearable. I'm not even going to joke with you. The shots were horrible. So they got better. But I'm not going to lie to you. If you, they were bad. And so they got everything numb. So they got everything from the sides and the back numb. And then we waited, and then they started going over my head. It was like, "Can you feel this?" I'm like, "No, I couldn't feel it." And so they were like, "All right, so we're ready to start the extractions," and that was fine. So I didn't feel any pain, but what I heard was the machine, like, I guess it's a little saw type, and it's circular, and they're pulling out the grafts, and you can hear it. So you can't feel it, but you can definitely hear it. You can hear it against your skin, and you can hear the machine zzz, 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 and you can hear it going into your skin, right? That was a trip. So that whole process took about 3 hours to get all the grafts, and then after that, so after they get the grafts, they do feed you. So we had a lunch. So they brought in a tray, and they set me up. I went over in the corner and ate. It was really good food. I definitely enjoyed the food. But they are sticklers on time. So as soon as I took my last bite, she said, "You done?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Do you want to use the restroom?" I said, "No, I'm good." She said, "All right, get back on the table." I got back on the table. The doctor came in, and the doctor was like, "Okay, so now we're going to start the process of getting your transplant area ready," which meant more damn shots, which meant more shots. So we had to do shots all up here in the crown, and again, it was painful. So this time I'm laying back straight. I'm laying back straight. And so they numbed that area up. And so while I was having lunch, they were actually cutting the grafts to get to the 3200. And so the doctor came in, numbed it, and then she came in with her instrument and started making the channels on the top of your head where the transplanted hair is going to go. And so you can hear that too. I mean, it's basically a stabbing motion. It's like a stabbing motion, like you hear it. And so she got finished. And so she was like, "Okay, so we're going to start doing the transplant." So they started putting the transplant. I felt no pain. They covered my eyes with this fabric uh because you're laying up, and the surgery light is right there, so they don't want that in your eyes. And also they're periodically spraying you with, I think, a saline solution to clear, so they could see what they're doing to clear the blood and everything else. And they didn't want any stuff to get in your eyes. And so that was probably the only moment that I really went to sleep. But I really couldn't stay asleep, because while my head was numb, every time they sprayed the saline solution, it was cold. And so it would hit my ears and it would hit my neck, and it would like it would wake me up out of my sleep. And they would keep saying, "Stay still, stay still, stay still, stay still, Anthony, stay still." So that process of putting in the transplant area, that took another about 2.5, 3 hours. And let me tell you, they are constantly coming in, checking on you. They're constantly making sure that you're okay. And halfway through us being finished, they stopped and they wanted me to sit up. And they came with a mirror, and they wanted me to see the process so far. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, it looks good." And so they was like, "All right, so we're going to finish. It's going to be about another hour and 45 minutes. I laid back down, went to sleep, woke up, went to sleep, woke up, went to sleep, woke up. And then the doctor came in. She set me up. She was looking. She was like, "This looks good." She said, "You're gonna love this. Um, you're gonna love this result." And I was like, "Okay, great." And so she showed me the mirror. It did not look like this. I mean, it was red, and of course scalp had like blood, like droplets in it and stuff like that. So after I approved it, they laid me back down. They did another saline rinse, and then they set me back up, and then they started bandaging the sides and the back, and that's when I knew that we were finished. So all in all, it was about a total of like 6.5, 7 hours. Um, and then they asked me to stand up. And this is what I love about them. When they asked me to stand up, they stood in front of me because I'm laying there for so long, and you got this numbing in your head that they've been playing in your head. And so they want to make sure that you can stand up and you're not dizzy or that you're not going to fall. And so they all stood in front of me as I stood up, and I stood up. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then I got dressed. I had a different shirt on, but it was a collared shirt. I got dressed, and then they take you downstairs and they give you they give you your medication. So they give you your medication, which consists of um, a medicine to help the swelling, a blood thinner that you have to take for 10 days, starting the day after, um, and they give you antibiotics, and they give you pain medication, and they also give you a shampoo, and they give you a shampoo, and they give you a foam that we'll get into later. And so basically, I really didn't have any pain after. Well, I was still numb, right? So I was still numb. So when I came downstairs, everybody that I came there with was also coming from their different areas, and we were basically waiting for the transport to come and take us back to the hotels. And so it basically tells you, this is what you're not going to do over the next 7 days. You're not going to have sex of any kind. Of any kind. You're not going to do any strenuous exercises. You're not going to go sweat. You're not going to have caffeine. You're not going to smoke. You're not going to have alcohol. You're not going to do any of these things, right? And so because it's very important, you're not going to touch the area at all. And that night, it's important for the next couple of nights. I think for the next 7, 8, 9, 10 nights, until your scabs come out. They want you to sleep in a seated position in the bed. So basically, I just had the hotel bring extra pillows. I set up a little uh, cushion, and so I just basically like lay back. Now, I personally couldn't go to sleep that night just because I just couldn't, just because I was kind of wired up, and I was still on East Coast time, which was 7 hours behind me. Um, so the next morning is where you go back and you get a wash. So they teach you how to wash your hair. They put a foam in it. So that they were coming to get me at 1 o'clock, and so I went and had breakfast. What I loved about this experience in this hotel was that it was nothing for us to be in there walking around with the bandages on, because other people had bandages on. Um, and so I went and had dinner that night, and and I took the first medication, which was for swelling. It That was for swelling. It was for swelling, or it was an antibiotic. It was one of them. I think it was the antibiotic. I think it was the antibiotic. So no, it was three. It was three, and that was for the swelling, I believe. Uh, if I'm wrong, I'm gonna put it down in the like I'm gonna put it down in the I'm gonna put it down in the comment of what I did. But went upstairs, couldn't sleep. I got up the next morning when I had breakfast. I went to the mall with the bandage on. We went to the mall. I came back, got in the transport, went, got my shampoo. I got my shampoo. They showed me how to showed me how to shampoo. Um, and basically, that was it. The transport takes you back to the hotel. If people had a flight that night, they take you to the airport. My flight wasn't until the next day, so I went back to I went back to the hotel, and then the driver took me to. So I went shopping. I went shopping and bought like 3 pair of Jordans at the mall, and came back, started packing some stuff up, and just basically, and when you're there for the shampoo, they take the wrap off. So like you don't have the wrap on anymore after they do your shampoo. And basically they talk to you about they kind of upsell you the products that this little package that includes oils, supplements, a microdermal roller, and everything else that wasn't in my particular package. And so I just felt like, well, I can get that at a different time. So if you don't get it there, you can get it from the actual vendor. It's a little pricier. So I got home and I ordered it from the vendor. So it's going to be here next week. Um, and so basically, what can I say? So this right now is, like I said, this is day 3. What I love about them is, what I love about the HEVA Clinic is the app that they give you basically follows you through your journey of like the first 15 days. And every day it comes, this is day 3, this is what you cannot do. This is what you should be doing, and this is what you cannot do. This is what's allowed. This is what's not allowed. So on day 3, I'm still not allowed to have any caffeine, no sex, of any kind. Um, also, no strenuous exercises, no staying out in the sun for a period of time, absolutely no sweating. And they want you to shower with room temperature, to have your shower water be room temperature, because they don't want any steam or anything affecting the hair, right? And so basically it follows you along. It basically tells you every day you get a message from them, like an automated message saying, hey, you're on this day. This is the medication that you should be doing for breakfast and lunch. And for the evening, you should be out of this medication by now. If you took the medication right, you should be out of this one today. And that's fine. So this is what you should have left. So the only thing you should really have left is the pain medication and the blood thinners that they give you 10 blood thinners, and you take that every day for 10 days after breakfast. You take one every day after breakfast. So basically, I guess right now, honestly, I felt no pain. So me, I'm still kind of numb. So I'm still numb. It's starting to wear off. That first and second wash was it kind of stung the donor area, just because there's like little small, there's small incisions in your like head, but they're starting to heal up. So I'm a little swollen. I'm still a little swollen here. So, but that's going down. I mean, like the night of the procedure, I look like a damn porpoise. I look like a damn dolphin. I look like a damn dolphin up here. So this is like actually going. So this is actually going down. So it's important that you can't like bend down. And it's funny because I was texting on my phone after the procedure, and the woman walked over. She grabbed my hand and put my hand up like this and said, "You have to look up. You don't look down, because they don't want the pressure, because it'll cause swelling." Also, no salt. Anything with salt, they don't want you to have salt at all, because it retains water, and they want you to try to flush out as much water as possible, because it also stops you from swelling a lot. So this is day 3. Like I said, I'm starting to scab, so I can't touch it. But as you can see, it's getting darker. So on the first night, all this was like red and kind of like bloody. Well, not bloody, but it had like blood spots and stuff in it. So it's starting to scab, which is a good thing. So in about another 10 days is when I can start um, massaging it to have the scabs out. And so basically what happens is the scabs come out, and then the hair is good, and then the hair is there. And then within a month, the hair is going to go through what's called shock loss, and it's going to like thin out, and then the rest of the hair is going to grow back. And so they give you instructions of what not to do for the next 3 months, uh, and sort of what you can do. So right now, I technically can wear a bucket hat. I can't wear anything that is going to constrict the hair or anything. So no baseball caps, no do-rags, no anything. So I can wear a bucket, a fisherman's cap or something that's going to be kind of like loose, but I'm not wearing anything. So last night I slept great. I've heard people say that they had a hard time sleeping um, after this procedure is done because they're not used to sleeping in that position. But I have this pillow set that my homeboy Lamar told me to get. Um, and it's at a 45-degree angle and it's super comfortable. And I just put the blanket over myself and I just slept like that. So, um, so, so, I guess I would say I can't answer if a hair transplant is for you. That's something that you have to answer for yourself. I know for me, I wish I would have done it sooner. I really do. I wish I would have done it sooner. Um, I think when you go online and you look at the different people talking about different places, different hair transplants, um, you ultimately, everybody's going to be different. Everybody's experience is going to be different. You ultimately have to choose for yourself. But let me tell you something. Um, there is no shame in doing something that is going to make you feel better about yourself or make you feel better about your appearance, right? Um, and you shouldn't allow anyone to judge you or make you feel like, oh, why the hell are you going to have a hair transplant? That's weird or anything else. No. What's weird is you dictating how you live your life based upon what somebody else's thoughts of your life is. So that's weird. So I can't tell you what is best for you, but I'll tell you what I felt. Um, I would do this all over again. The HEVA Clinic was incredible. They were super super friendly. They were super professional. They were super clean. Um, um, just the hospitality of everything there was like top notch. And my driver came and got me. We ain't gonna talk about it. We ain't gonna talk about where my driver got me from. But that's a that's a different vlog. So with this vlog, and then my flight back was so my flight was 10 hours. So my flight was 10 hours, and I wasn't the only one on the flight that had the transplant. But I will tell you this much. Um, they did stop me at one of the checkpoints because I had the shampoo and the foam in my bag, and they took my bag to the side and they held it up, and I said, "That's for." And the woman just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." She put it back in the bag, and I was like, "Yeah, like I'm sure you've seen these products from other people, right?" Um, and so got on the plane, had my neck pillow on, didn't have any problems. I haven't had any problems so far. It's like I said, I've been able to do whatever I wanted to do. I'm going to follow this journey all the way through. So the max results, they say in about a year, in about 12 to 13, 14 months, max results. So I cannot start taking finasteride and minoxidil for a month. So I cannot do that until the month period is passed, which for me would be May 30th of this month. So it would be May 30th of when I can take the finasteride and minoxidil and then start doing the other stuff. And so basically the whole purpose of this vlog is I want you all to follow me on my journey. I'm a filmmaker, I'm an actor, I'm a producer, I'm a writer. And I want y'all to follow me on this journey because maybe this helps somebody. And by the time we get to so we see each other now. We see each other right now. So in 13, 14 months, I might be sitting here looking like Prince. I might be sitting here. I might be sitting here like looking like Prince or Michael Jackson because with the hair. But so no. But in all seriousness, I want you all to follow this journey with me. I want you all to like, share, subscribe. I want you all to follow me. I want y'all to get to know me. I want to get to know you all. I want to hear your, and look, if you've had a hair transplant, talk about it in the comments. I want to hear your experience. Let's have this experience together. If you just recently had your hair transplant this year, the last couple of months, let's go on this journey together. Let's see what we look like in the next 12 to 14 months. All right. So again, my name is Anthony. Thank you all for coming to vlog number 1. I got through it. It's going to get better. I'm not used to doing this, which is weird because I'm an actor and I'm used to being on camera. But yeah, so we're going to have a good fun time here. Over the course of months, you're going to see me go like this. And then probably when the hair starts to fall out, I'm going to look like Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. But that's okay too, because it's going to grow in. It's going to grow in. It's like we're going to do this process together. So that's the whole purpose of this vlog. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, put it down in the comments and I'll try to answer it for you. And then maybe along the way I can invite some people from the HEVA Clinic to come and do some interviews, or invite my homeboy Lamar to come and do like an interview, because his hair looks phenomenal. I mean, when I saw his hair, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna go. And so right now, we're at day 3. So we're gonna be following this, people. So this is gonna be a journey. This is gonna be a journey. It's gonna be a fun journey. It's probably gonna be a frustrating journey. I might come on here when the hair falls out and just feel like, why did I do this? But they say trust the process, and I'm gonna trust the process. But again, thank you guys. Please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend about this, come back. We'll have a good time. All right, thanks.